Look.
Hello and welcome to the Context Needed podcast. Saturday today, joined again with Ollie and half of Ryan.
Some of him.
He was just complaining that he's complaining that his food portions are shrinking, but it looks like he's shrinking in response.
Yep.
I'm getting smaller by the hour. Help! Help!
His allocated quarantine meals have been cut.
Fucking Boris. God damn it.
His next punishment will be Gulag.
Gulag. Hard labour with no rations.
That's it.
You work in the fields now, boy. Get to work.
So,
side curry.
how have you two been then anyway? You good?
Tired.
I'm good. I've had 2 long walks today and I'm feeling all right.
And then there's just Ryan. He's tired.
I'm tired because I was
My
breaking.
curry's too small.
My food portions have been shrunk, and I've been breaking concrete like some sort of cheap labourer.
you already are in the Gulag.
You really are in the Gulag.
Hello, welcome to Gulag. It is me.
Oh man.
Anyway, we'll get on with it today. So we finished up Wednesday saying today we was going to talk about a few specific subjects. I, for one, had a story that I wanted to say because on Wednesday we was talking about schools and some of the crazy shit that happened in our schools. So the story I wanted to say was actually we had two teachers in my school that after the school starting, because we were the first year in my school, there was no years above us. After the school started, my form tutor...
What? As in,
Yeah.
Wait, you were like the first students of the school?
Yeah, it was a brand new school. So there was literally no
that's
students
weird,
above
man.
us. It was really...
It's just because you're so old. Stop lying. We all know you're actually from like the Viking period of time.
When Carl went to
look
school,
at
there
you.
was no history lessons.
Today I will teach you about sex. Bring in the woman. Here's how you gut a rabbit. Throws axe at smallest kid. We don't have rabbits, so we will cut little child up.
Here's how you procreate. You just divide yourself in half and then wait for that, and then you divide in half again. Basically, there were single-cell organisms at the time.
Man, fuck you guys.
God damn it, Kyle's memoirs are going to be amazing.
You're only like 2, maybe 3 years older than me, but I'm still.
Yeah.
With it.
Back on track.
Anyway.
My form tutor was the English teacher, and then there was also the PE teacher, and they actually got together. They ended up getting married, so I'm just going to call them Mr. and Mrs. H, just because that's the easiest way of doing it. So Mrs. H was my form tutor, but now what happened with a friend of mine with Mr. H was one of the funny things that happened. So my friend, like me at the time, bit emo, bit grabby. So he pretty much had
phased, Mom.
well, he had like full autonomy from like his mum to like dye his hair and try weird hairstyles and stuff. I wasn't allowed. I would have got my ass kicked if I tried that kind of stuff, but he was able to do this. But then Mr. H was his form tutor, and he didn't like him because of his style and him changing his hairstyle and all this kind of stuff. So used to give him loads of shit. And I think it was near the end of my school period. I think it was like just beginning year 11 or near halfway through year 11. My friend had been dealing with Mr. H's shit literally for like 4 years by this point and was getting well and truly done. And
Was he just like an asshole?
He, for lack of a better term, he was a fucking prick. Like, I don't remember a lot of the stories off the top of my head because I haven't spoke to this guy for a very, very long time, but just this part of it always sticks in my head because it was one particular day where he changed his hair colour again, and pretty much Mr. H went in, like, fully, like, having a go. My friend just had enough and just broke his leg. Just stamped clean through his shin and broke both of the bones in his lower leg.
Jesus Christ!
So
what an absolute unit!
Obviously, instantly expelled. But he was having to still do his exams through our school because it was too late to move to another one. But
Mr. H should have been brought up on bullying. Surely.
Well, Mr. H was off on leave for healing and stuff, but
Good.
it never got pulled
Then
up.
he boned his wife.
Well, it never got pulled up. I remember people asking Mrs. H in our form, like, "Oh, where's Mr. H?" And she was just like, kind of, "Oh, he's ill at the moment." She never used to say anything, and there's me, who knows the full story, just like giggling to myself. So
Yeah, you know what happened there.
when Mr. H finally comes back, and he comes into our PE class, we're doing whatever we're doing at the time, and he's on crutches, he's got the cast and everything. Someone asks him someone asked him what happened, how did he break his leg? And he comes out with, "Oh, it was a rugby accident." And I looked at him square in the eyes. I went, "Oh, really? That's a very clean break for a rugby accident." And he just like went, "Oh yeah, it was a tackle that was quite low," and just kind of like swiftly moved on the subject because he knew that I knew the story. But like,
God.
everyone was like on his side, and I was just there like, "Nah, he's a prick." But I found
You're an
out
asshole.
after I left. Turns out Mr. H and Mrs. H were both having an affair with someone else in the school. And they had...
As in,
Please.
so they were. Just to clarify, were they weren't cheating on each other with the same person, right? Like that,
No,
as in, like
no,
they were
no.
both cheating on each other with other members of staff.
Yes. So basically,
Okay.
Mr. H was fucking, I don't know, a science teacher, and Mrs. H was fucking another English teacher or something. It was basically... But it was still in the school. It was still happening in the school. And there used to be a video of it, which I've never been able to find, and I wish I was able to find it for this. But they found out from each other at the middle of the playground during break. During the lunch break.
God.
In the middle of... And it wasn't even like it was like the field playground where they could like kind of be out of the way. Nah, this was the busiest section of the playground. There's 3 entrances to different areas of the school. And they went fucking ballistic at each other. Full on. They had to actually remove the students from the situation and just let them have it.
Not the teachers.
Right, do you know what would have been a win? Is if it was just your mate that was boning her. I think that'd have been that'd have been it. He'd have just been like,
Fuck you. He became the janitor and infiltrated the marriage.
That would have been like the most perfect alpha move ever. It's like, oh look, not only did I fuck your leg, I fucked your wife.
fucked your wife.
Oh my god.
Oh man,
Jesus.
that would have been like story of the years. I told that to my grandkids. That one.
Oh.
It's
I
always.
bet that was messy.
I was apparently only happened like a year after I left, because I found out from like one of the guys the year below me who I used to play music with in like random bands and stuff. So he let me know at music school, because we used to go to the same music school. And I just remember losing my shit, like, oh my god.
I love how they're both having a go at each other though, but they both cheated on each other. It's
they're
like
both
you're
in the
both
wrong.
equally pieces of shit.
You're both terrible people. Well done.
Maybe Mr. H was probably a little bit more because he bullied the guy for just being individual. But like, I mean, you're still both pieces of shit.
You are
I
both
hope
still
that
human trash.
I hope the man and woman that cheated on that were the kind of other people in the whole thing then got together and lived very happily.
Had kids. They had kids, which then came back to break Mr. H's other leg.
Yeah, and they broke Mr. H's leg. Oh man. And the cycle continues.
It does actually kind of lead into what the main subject matter we wanted to talk to about, which was I was trying to find a more nicer way of saying this, but I kind of couldn't.
Sticking your dick in crazy.
So yeah, that is the subject matter: is sticking your dick in crazy and the kind of bullshit you have to deal with when doing that. So I've already said my story for the day. I've gone through one of my points. So do one of you two want to start with any of your dick and crazy moments?
I don't have many experiences of actually sticking the dick in crazy.
Sounds like it's me then.
I have been in relationships with crazy, but
Well, that's it. It was in a relationship. It was a relationship.
Yeah.
It was an ex. And I'll preface this by saying I didn't know at the start. I didn't know, okay?
That's everyone's
it wasn't
excuse.
That's what they all say.
It wasn't. I wasn't taking some kind of calculated risk and thought, "Oh, it might be worth it." No,
maybe
no,
maybe
was
I
very
can
normal
control
stuff.
this.
So, I mean,
Pulls out taser.
this ex of mine, and a lot of people who are watching this, if they know me, they probably know who this person is. But obviously, I won't be naming names. But yeah,
Fucking name names. Do it.
we would. Oh man, I'd love to. Fucking hell, for the damage that was done to me. But I'm not going to be that person.
Wait, is this one of those moments where we need to pull up a doll and just go, where did she touch you on the doll?
Touch you on the doll.
Kind of, but it wouldn't be where you think. So it's all
How
right.
many cans of beer did she drink before she beat you?
So this ex of mine, basically, she was very manipulative, and things started to get a bit weird. But now the bad thing is that after this happened, I stayed with her, which is the worst thing. But I had an operation. It would have been about 10 years ago now. Well, probably 9, I think. But I had a biopsy on a lymph node in my gland. I've still got the scar of it. And I mean, so I had this operation, and I remember I saw her like a day or two after the operation. I still had the dressing on my neck. It was still very fresh, still hurt, all that. And I can't remember how it happened, but she managed to hit me on my neck, on the wound that would only just been operated on.
Which is crazy.
That alone was bad. But then she decided that she didn't like that she did that and had to punish herself. And her way of punishing herself was ramming her fucking hand in my mouth and trying to close my jaw to make me bite her hand. All the time, I was just in pain from the neck, because, yeah.
Were you dating Dobby?
Dobby. It's actually
What
possible.
the fuck?
This ex also... I'm trying to think of the other things that happened. I seem to recall... Now, they may have been putting this on, but at the time they seemed genuine about it. And I'm not saying this is what they believed or not. They might have been putting it on because she was a bit weird and she was probably putting it on. But she told me that she thought that shooting stars in the sky were dolphins in space. You know, because that's what shooting stars are, apparently.
There's a dolphin in the sky! Willie! Look! It's a dolphin!
Snarky, speak, man!
Is it just
That's how we had...
Is it just the
that's
never-ending tale?
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to
actually,
think of
the
some other
British Space Agency is just men riding dolphins into space.
Yeah. Come on, chaps!
Tally
They
ho!
say
Tally ho!
They tell you that there's dolphins in the Thames, but they don't tell you about the dolphins in space. I tell you what, fucking hell.
Well, apparently they're
Thames is
mean
actually the
bastards
launch.
in the sky.
Yeah, I bet they are. Though that's the main thing that was kind of addressed this girl as crazy. But over the years, there are a lot of like smaller things that would. I don't think, but I also want to say, because you know, mental illness. I don't think she was mentally ill. I think she was just a piece of shit and very manipulative, basically, and a bit.
Ryan, you need to sit up, man. Your face is covered by your own name.
Hey, it's me, Ryan. I'm over
It's me,
here.
your boy, the text of Ryan.
Wait, so how long was you with this dolphin girl?
Or did you say orphan?
Orphan girl. I
said dolphin girl.
Oh, I thought you said orphan. Did you put that on orphans? They didn't deserve this. I think it was about 18 months. She eventually left me. Literally just, I mean, I was a dumb teenager at the time. Like, I just remember the one day at college, she was really distant with me, and I don't know why, and she was just a real bitch of me. And then, like, I was sat with her at lunch, and she basically just told me to go away, that she didn't want me to sit next to her. I hadn't done anything.
Alone. I didn't
So it was like,
you.
oh, okay. And then I remember later that day, I was like, you know, what the fuck was that? And she's like, oh, I don't know. Like, and there was this guy in her tutor. I can't remember his fucking name. I think it's
Chad.
Chris or something like that.
Chad.
and it's like, oh, I think I need to talk to. I was like, what? What's going on? So, I don't know. I think I need to talk to Chris about this. It's like, well, if you're not talking to our problems with me, your at the time boyfriend, but I need to talk to Chris. Like, fuck off. But I didn't leave her. She left me because I was a retarded, dumb teenager. But yeah.
At least,
alas, I put my dick in crazy.
Yeah. At least you were open about the she left me. Like the amount of guys I've spoke to about like relationships like that.
I know.
I
left
her. I left her. It's like
I left her. I left her, guys. I left her. I swear. Look at me. I left her.
I'm so strong.
I'm still a man, alright.
Doesn't make you any better of a person. It's like
I mean, like, I'm glad I got out. Obviously, in hindsight, I'm with someone else now. But like, that was a fucking bad time, man. Like, that was a bad time in my life.
Yeah, but it's like with the whole leaving thing. I remember there was one period I had. It was actually just before the girl I was with just before my now wife. I left her because things were moving a lot quicker for her than they were for me. Like, she fell quicker than I did.
She was on speed.
Yeah, pretty much. But I didn't want her. I had a feeling that my feelings wouldn't grow any more than they already were, and it's like I'm not leading her on if she's falling quicker than me. So I kind of broke it off. She wasn't happy about it, which is fair enough, because
naturally,
what do you expect? You've just been told that I don't want to be with you.
And she was delighted.
Yes, I'm free.
She loved it. She was like, "Oh, this is great."
But then, it was like like, I think it was 2 days or a couple of days after she'd like kind of cooled off from being annoyed at me about it. She called me and she was like, "Look, let's just make it as if it was just we both agreed that it wasn't going to continue working." I said, "Look, I'm fine with doing that. I've got nothing. There's nothing against you. You're a nice person. I just don't feel like it was going to work out," kind of thing. So to me, it seemed like it was kind of a platonic kind of splitting up. And I found out maybe about 2 to 3 months later, when I was going out with a few friends, one of them just went, "Oh, well, you're shit with girls anyway. I can't believe what you did to this girl." And I was like, what are you on about? It was like, "Oh, the way you just dumped her like that." And I was like, wait, what? Because we both agreed that it was going to say that it was just a platonic leaving. What has she said? She said that you treated her like shit and left her because of something or other. And I was like, that's not how it happened. It was, "Oh, well, you still shouldn't have left her like that." And I was like, dude, she fell for me faster than I fell for her. I'm not leading her on. "Oh, well, it's still me." And I was like, and I literally said to him, "You've never been in a fucking relationship. You don't know what you're talking about. Shut the fuck up." Because
you little babby.
It's the thing. He hadn't been in a relationship by this point, and he couldn't understand the concept of, I left her because my feelings wouldn't grow, and I didn't want her to get hurt more by staying with me for a longer period of time. He could not understand that concept.
It's just people, ain't it? Simping.
People,
Simping.
But it's not anything. It's that after the crazy, the next one seems to be the one you marry. So let's.
No, it doesn't always work like that, lads. It doesn't always work like that.
I mean, from a sample, we've got 2 out of 2 so far. Let's just hold on to that, shall we?
Yeah, I feel like I got addicted to the crazy at one point because it didn't fucking stop for me at one point.
Oh, fair enough.
It was like,
well,
if she ain't looking to cut your throat at night, it's not worth it, lads.
Standing over you with a knife.
I just looked back through some of them. And there was like the first 2 serious relationships I had. The first one definitely crazy. Second one started out completely fine, but got more and more crazy. And she's currently engaged to one of my friends, so that's always fun. I won't
see what happens there.
Yeah, I won't talk about her on this podcast because she is still within a close proximity to me through relationships. So I don't want to talk.
She'll stab a bitch.
And the thing is, I haven't seen her or spoke to her in a very long time. We're both very, very different people by this point. So I wouldn't want to talk down on someone about their past when they could potentially see this. Yeah.
Fair enough.
The other relationships that they've had,
you're still crazy, bitch.
Yeah, the other relationship they've had, I have no qualms talking about because I'm not going to talk to them. But they literally went crazy. One started out fine, then went crazy. then I was a mess, so I was the crazy one. So that's
You were the crazy.
I were the crazy.
Did anyone put their dick in you, Kyle?
Shh. But yeah,
Pegging is acceptable now, okay, boys? Don't shame people.
There's enough nerve endings on the prostate. But no, there was I think one of the
turn, hasn't it?
one of the ones that also kind of, it was a very short-lived kind of relationship where it was like one of those fucking whirlwind things where like she just comes out of nowhere, you kind of like fucking sweep each other off your own feet, things happen, and then all of a sudden it's fucking over, like what the fuck just happened kind of thing. And it was at uni again, obviously, because I've been in a relationship since uni now with my wife, but it was, we had
Right, stop just like trying to boast, alright? Stop bragging.
Ryan, you're the only one here.
I don't have emotions, alright? That's my problem. I can't
you do.
get emotions.
You do.
Yeah, anger.
I've worked with
Anger.
you. I've seen at least one emotion.
Yeah, anger. Always.
Ryan is actually a dapple in disguise and actually plans to reproduce asexually.
That is me. Honestly, if I could, I would. If I could just have kids, like, I'd be Boba Fett. I'd be Jango Fett, getting a clone of myself, and I'd just live with my kid. And
Just
I'd
make
train
sure-
my kid to be a killer.
Oh man.
With the girl when I was back in uni, there was a very funny moment with that situation where like it seemed like things were going to get pretty serious, like they were on the cusp of getting serious. Had this house party at my place, and it turns out one of the guys who'd came round, had also been with her in the past. And they both like started profusely apologizing to me, like, "Oh, there's nothing happening now. There's nothing happening now." And I've always been the same thing where it's like, the past is the
Something's
past.
happening now.
The past is the past. I don't care. The past is the past. And then literally like a day later, it was just like nothing. So I was like, "Oh, okay. So something probably is happening now."
Yeah, something
I
is
think
happening now.
The fact that they're apologising is probably a red flag, to be honest.
Yeah.
I promise there's nothing going on. I didn't ask. No, but seriously, there's nothing going on.
I've definitely not been shagging him in the broom closet. I swear.
That is the most middle class fucking thing to have sex in. The broom closet.
Closet.
No, that's yeah, actually, yeah.
Sorry,
Oh, so we had a cracking bang at the broom closet.
the upbringing I've had, it's usually the fucking toilet of a fast food restaurant, so...
We had a quick
doesn't happen
splash in
to
the
me.
pantry.
Quick splash in the pantry.
No,
I mean,
wasn't
she is a
splash.
squirter.
At what
No,
point do you
that's
think
not
the
lemonade
contact
in
needs
there.
start to go downhill.
Ryan,
Oh.
come on. You need to open up about one of
I
your
need to open up
crazies.
here.
Sit
I mean,
up, man.
my-
Stop slouching.
Or just anything, really. Just tell us about some kind of experience you had. Someone brushed up against you on the bus.
My
You felt quite nice. Tell us anything.
My experiences are going to be a hell of a lot more like mediocre, to be honest. I mean, like my relationship status has always been very empty. I don't really get into relationships. I'm like, don't get me wrong, I've been on Tinder a few times, but nothing's ever come from Tinder.
Oh, I remember using your Tinder and just swiping to all the ones that looked nice.
Mate, you should have seen it.
I-
We went on a night out and one of the lads got hold of it and he was just swiping. Then he started using the IT like pickup lines. Are you Wi-Fi? Because I'm feeling a connection. All that shit. I'm just there like, fuck my lad. I deleted it in embarrassment the next morning because I was fucked at that point. I was gone. And I found out, I went, I've got to fucking delete this. I've just got to fucking delete this. This never happened.
I'm kind of lucky in that I never. Well, I guess I've been from kind of relationship to relationship fairly quick. Like,
I'm
I
saying.
guess since so like I never really did the whole like Tinder or dating at all. Really, like it was. I don't know. I guess I've quite organically just gone and met, like, just kind of spoken to people, clicked with them, and then we've had a relationship. Like that's sort of how it's always kind of worked. So it's like I missed that. Like I've never experienced Tinder or what it's like.
It's one of those things
It's
where
shit.
like
It's fucking trash.
I have a feeling there's a fucking like parallel world where I didn't organically go between relationship to relationship, and I'm currently just living girl to girl on Tinder. Because I've got a feeling that's, if I ever got my hands on Tinder, that's all that would have happened. There would have been no relationships. There would have been no, like, serious settling down. It would have just been nowadays. Girl to girl.
You go on Tinder and it's just like you literally. There's nobody puts a description about themselves. No one, and you get the fair few and you'll swipe on them, but it never really goes anywhere. Like, I've had people talking to me and like they just disappear, and you're like,
okay.
fuck.
Yeah,
apparently it wasn't working. What do you want me to say to you? Oh, do you want to go and have a shag in the McDonald's car park tonight? I'm like, what the fuck do you want from me?
In your fucking car, you're not having any sex. It's way too small.
No, honestly, no.
Mate,
this was back when I was in the Clio. There's a little
There's
bit
no
more
height restriction in an
Yeah.
It depends how much of an exhibitionist they are.
Yeah, you just got to get out of the car.
I mean, he said McDonald's car park. I feel like at that point you might as well just go with it.
You might as well just go straight onto the McDonald's tables and go for it.
No, I mean, like mine have been a lot more kind of. I've not had like a long-term relationship ever at all. I've never had anything over a month.
Please don't say the most serious yours ever got was back in secondary school where you tripped some girl over and said I like you and ran off.
I was never in a relationship at secondary school because I was the nerd that nobody liked. Everyone bullied me, and I was a bit of an asshole back. That's why
I was the ginger nerd that no one liked.
Yeah. There's a group of us. I can remember bullying a fat kid because he like bullied everyone else, and I like pissed on like he had like a dinner card, and it fell in the toilet, so I pissed on it. and then our teacher found out, got me to pay him to get the new card, and cause I was like, "Mum, Dad, I've got another tech assignment where we need some money." Didn't actually tell him what it was for. I paid him. Then the fucker went and bought some sweets with it. I was like,
please tell me he was still using that same card.
He was.
Oh my god. To be fair,
it's
just a bodily fluid. Just wipe it off. You'll be fine.
Just wipe it off. Oh. But the thing is, though, me and my mate found out he pissed on it. So I went to the teacher and said, "Miss, he used the money to buy sweets instead of thingy, so he had to pay me back." So then I went and bought some sweets with the money.
Yes.
It was great.
Oh, man.
But yeah,
did you guys have, like, in secondary school, that just on the subject of school and sweets, there was always that one kid who would sell sweets and shit? Did you guys have that?
We didn't have that.
We had a kid who had a heart problem. He was extremely obese. He was a lovely lad. I was mates with him. He was a bullshitter. He chatted shit incredibly.
There was loads of bullshitters in school.
He'd sit there and he'd drink 2 Happy Shopper, like, litre bottles of energy.
What's that? Oh, right.
Happy Shoppers, like, think corner shop, but not in the nice area of town.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. The Happy Shopper energy drink is actually quite nice.
I remember it was Happy Shopper used to do pick and mix, and there was only one other pick and mix that was as good or better than it, and that was the Woolworths pick and mix. So we
always used to call the pick and mix. We always used to call them, because they were always so cheap, we used to call them poverty sweets, but they were so fucking good. My favourite was
fuck you! Pick and mix was my fucking livelihood.
No, I loved it, but like it just because it was just really like dodgy, kind of questionable what is in this kind of sweets.
I don't think it was more what is in this, it was more who the fuck has touched this.
Yeah. But I used to really like, you could never find them anywhere else, and it was like the long flat cola bottles.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Those were just
See, my favorite pick and mix has always been the yellow-bellied snakes. They're just the long jelly snakes with like a yellow foam bottom underneath them, and they're my favourite sweet of all time. They're my favourite so much when me and Becky were going through some like financial difficulties, and we couldn't really afford presents for each other.
We were living off yellow belly.
No, for my it was either a Christmas present or a birthday present. She just got me a large pick and mix tub of those sweets because it was the cheapest present that she knew I would like.
I suppose, yeah. My
favorite mix got to be like the strawberry coated, like it's like strawberry sweet around licorice, like the straws where it's like a licorice innard
Oh yeah, I
strawberry,
know
like,
those ones. I was never a big fan
I
of
like
those
the
ones.
ones.
you get ones that are about this long,
Yeah,
and oh man,
I like the ones that got like the sherbet in them. I don't like licorice.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
licorice or sherbet or something in them.
Was it
They're-
white?
Yeah, white.
Probably.
might be
It's probably not licorice then.
See,
Sherbet.
Ryan, when you went to Japan, did you try a thing
I've
called?
never been to Japan.
I
None
thought
of
you'd
us have been to
been.
Japan except you.
Oh
I
no,
really
it was Matt,
want
wasn't
to
it? It
go
was
to
Matt who went.
Japan.
Sorry.
I
Well, I
went.
went to Japan last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was they have a sweet called haichu, which it's like a mix between like Starburst and bubblegum. So it's not
I think I've
actually
seen those. Yeah.
it's not bubblegum. You still just swallow and eat it, but it's got like very delicate flavors, a bit less than Starburst, but they're probably one of like my favorite like sweets at the minute, and it's really difficult to get them over here. The only time I was actually able to get them recently was when I was on the way back from work. There was like I used to drive all the way back home, and the first petrol station I used to go into, I'd grab a coffee and just a snack, and I'd just try and plough the whole journey in one. But I think the last journey I did back, they started selling the haichus, and I ended up buying like 5 packets, and I had them all on the way home. And it was probably
Oh man.
it was probably the worst decision ever, because obviously that many sweets as you get older doesn't agree with your stomach.
No.
The card is like, oh, am I gonna make it now? Am I gonna make
I've
it?
never had. I think it's spelled like Ramune, but I think it's according to Google, it's
Ramune.
pronounced.
Ramune.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
stuff
the pop.
is.
The pop.
Yeah, with a little like.
Oh yeah,
Bubble.
yeah,
Love
yeah.
that.
Oh,
It's
I
so
had that for the.
expensive.
Yeah, it is. I had some. Apparently, the Sainsbury's by Tom sells it. But he bought me. We had some when we were building his PC a few months back. Man, I'm addicted to that shit. I've only
so
had that's
good.
it. Like I had it once, and I want more. They're not very big bottles, but it's,
No,
No,
I
it's
think
shit.
the engineering that goes into those bottles is fucking awesome though, because obviously it's, if you've never had a ramen before, it's a glass bottle that has a ball bearing that seals the bottle, and you have to
Yeah.
literally pop the ball bearing down, and what it does, it ends up sitting in like a captive area,
Yeah.
and so that captive area at least kind of stops all of the gas escaping and anything from getting into
No,
it.
the way it actually works
Oh, is
is because you know how the ball, it looks almost like a little golf ball, doesn't it? It's got loads
Yeah.
of little dots on it.
It's a little glass marble.
What it is, what it does is you pop the seal. What it is, fizzy drinks will only be fizzy if you give them something called a nucleation site, which is why you see all the little bubbles.
Yeah.
It's the reason why when you drop a Mentos into like Diet Coke, it fizzes so much, because the Mentos is covered in tiny pits, and when you drop it in, you give loads of these nucleation sites, and it fizzes like a bastard.
Yeah.
Basically, what that ball does is those pits act as nucleation sites, so it basically fizzes as you drink it.
Oh, so it
As
keeps
the-
its
as it
carbonation
passes
really
by
well.
Well,
I think so. Like
I
obviously, the carbon dioxide is in the drink; it is carbonated, but it doesn't fizz until
it's
it
opened.
hits. Yeah, it's really clever. But God, I think it was. I don't even know what flavor it was. It was just blue. That was the
soda,
flavor.
just the soda flavor. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
It was.
is-
It was blue. I think. But oh
I-
God, I need it.
I actually found out last October that the marble, I thought it was just a gimmick, that the Japanese thing, but that marble was actually used over here in the UK. It was used, I think it was used in the States as well, before we came up with capping. So, you know, we cap bottles now with.
Yeah.
Screw caps, yeah.
We used that before we like, well, just not even screw caps, just the capping.
Like a beer bottle or like glass
Yeah,
Coke
yeah.
bottle.
Oh,
They got
yeah.
the metal cap.
We use those marbles because if you go to some of these living museums, there's one up in Yorkshire. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me. I think it's Beamish. Don't quote me on that.
I wouldn't know.
I've
Don't
been
know
to
that
like most of them, but they have those. Like they have like original ones from way back when. So these were things that were being made like back in early 19th century and stuff. Like it's really, really like
Oh, that's
old.
quite
tech.
cool.
I was like, yo,
Yeah.
this is. I thought it was just some gimmick that the Japanese had used.
I'd never seen it before. Like,
Yeah.
I'd never tried it, and then Tom literally just like, I think he talked about it, or no, gave me something. And I had one sip, and I was just like, "This is amazing. Where can I get this?"
But like this soda, the melon flavor and the orange flavor are just
Yeah, they are. All
is
the flavors
it
are pretty good.
Soda, the blue one. Is the blue
Soda,
one just like soda?
it's
I
just
thought
like-
it is maybe like.
It depends.
I thought it was like
from
blueberry or
what, yeah,
something. I
from
don't
what
know.
I've seen, a lot of the time, I wouldn't go by the color because there's the Japan Center in London sells them. Because me and Becky bought some down there because she had one that was literally a Pokemon one. We've got it on a shelf downstairs, just like on show, because it was like a Pokemon special edition bottle. But the colour of the glass doesn't really change depending on the flavour, because I thought mine was going to be like a bubblegum flavour, because it was like bright blue. It wasn't, it was just a lemon flavour, which was great, because I really like lemon drinks.
What was it, the glass that was coloured?
Yeah.
Because it was the one I had, it's clear glass, but the actual liquid was blue.
Oh, right, so yeah. All the ones I've seen, all the ones I've seen, they've always been in a coloured blue glass. I've never seen them in a clear glass, so...
I mean,
there's... Go on.
When I'm back at work, we've got a couple of Asian shops just around the corner, because we've basically got this small, like, there's this street in this area in where I work, where it's just Asian shops, and they've got these two where they just ship in all the food. Holy shit. You go in there and you're just like, oh, what are we going to try today? And you always get...
There's one in Shrewsbury, and I forget what it's called now. I think again, it's kind of like a general Asian one, because you see a lot of like Chinese stuff in there, a lot of Japanese stuff.
Yeah, it's got a nice big mix, like Taiwanese, Japanese.
Yeah. And I remember, like, you get Mountain Dew over here quite a bit now, but maybe like 10 years ago, we didn't get it, did we? We never used to have Mountain Dew here.
It's because it's
and
trash.
I remember... Well, here's the thing, though. I
don't like it that much.
Yeah, it's not particularly great. And I remember I was trying it, and I don't mind it. It's kind of just like lemonade, really, isn't it? It's kind of like slightly different lemonade. But this Asian shop had imported Mountain Dew, and I think it was from Thailand. And the bottles it was in looked really weird, because it wasn't like it was this. It's hard to explain, but rather than being like rounded and then just a cap, it was just like a tubular bottle that then just shrank down. It almost looked like a small wine bottle, but plastic. But it was for Mountain Dew. It kind of, but it wasn't glass. And imagine it was a bit more of an aggressive taper as well.
Oh, so it wasn't a long neck. It was a very short neck.
Yeah, they looked like real. Like it didn't look like any kind of soda bottle we have over here. But oh my god, it was amazing. It was like it wasn't as fizzy, which was nice, because the stuff here, like, it's really fizzy and not that flavorful, whereas like it was a little less fizzy and so nice. And we used to get it there at college all the time because it was so good.
I've just found a picture. Does it look a little bit like a plastic beer bottle? That's what I like.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It was like it was green plastic, and it was like, it would be like a tube, and then quite a sharp, like, reduction in size to another tube, and then it's a little cap on a screw cap on the top.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. It's a small bottle. It's not very big.
Yeah, and I guess the closest way to describe it is, imagine like a small beer bottle. It was like that, but made of plastic, slightly less rounded. But like, it was so much better than the stuff we got, and like, we used to just buy it from this shop all the time. It's a shame, because like, I'm really fussy with food. Like, it takes a lot for me to kind of try new things, and I probably should try some more stuff. But like, we have some good shops in Shrewsbury, to be fair.
Yeah. On the topic of energy drinks, because I am well and truly over energy drinks now, especially after the amount I drank at university. But like, I work with some people that I swear their fucking blood is just Red Bull.
Yeah, same here.
I used to drink a lot of Red Bull.
It's depressing to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I can
actually
drink
hydrating here.
Yeah, I could drink a Red Bull. I won't choose to drink a Red Bull, but if someone gives me a Red Bull, I would drink it. But like, I'd be at work, and like, you'd be around, like, say, the monitor pit area, and you would smell them before anything else because of the amount of Red Bull they drink, and you'd be like, oh, so-and-so's here, and then they'd walk around the corner, and you'd just be like, fuck's sake, man, you know it's bad when you can smell the Red Bull before them.
The only time I choose to drink Red Bull is when
What flavour is Red Bull?
I don't... Wait, just...
What flavour is it? I don't know. I mean, they do flavoured ones. I know. Okay, I hate the whole. Oh, it's bull sperm. Two things. Taurine is also in cat food.
Yeah, my cat's an absolute unit. What we say?
There's also water in bull sperm, but when you drink water, you don't go, "Oh, you're drinking bull sperm." It's like taurine's just a chemical.
There's also water in our sperm.
Let me just take a sip of my beautiful, hydrated bull sperm.
Bull sperm. To be fair, I quite like Red Bull. And I like the they did the flavors. Well, they still do them, but they don't seem to do the red cranberry one anymore, and that saddens me because I really like the red. I drank so much red cranberry Red Bull at one point that when I used to be in my old room, like over there, I had a pyramid of cranberry Red Bull cans because I drank so much.
That's an addiction. That is right there.
Addiction. I built it over quite a while. To be fair, like it took a while to build up, but like it was a case of I'd leave a can on the window. Too lazy to take it out, and then 2 or 3 days later, put another can, and before I knew it, they were just amassing, so I started arranging them, and I just made this huge pyramid with them.
The last time I drank an energy drink on its own out of choice was I bought Monster Zero, like the silver cans.
I can't stand Monster.
And it was only because I'd been up, like me and my parents were driving down to see my sister at university, and we were... it was like fucking 3 a.m. or something, just to be able to drive down because we were going from one end of the UK like all the way down to the other, or England. East. I was like, I need something just to like perk me up a little bit, give me a bit of like wake me up a bit because it's just so early. So I drank this energy drink, but honestly, I was
shaking all the way down.
Well, no, they don't affect me. Like I find with like energy drinks and just stuff in general, like everyone always goes on about, oh yeah, you know, weed's really good and this is all that really good, and it's like I just find that I don't usually kind of get affected by them as much. Like, I just feel like it doesn't really, like I drink an energy drink, it doesn't wake me up, it just feels like I've drank, you know, a fizzy drink.
Yeah, caffeine doesn't do a whole lot to me either.
Yeah, like I could drink tea like Guano, and
don't get me wrong, I do drink it.
I choose not to drink any drinks now, though, unless it's a Jaeger bomb. I mean, that's the only time I will have.
I'm not allowed Jaeger bombs anymore.
I don't drink alcohol.
Jaeger bombs are my weakness. As soon as they come out,
my wife has banned me from Jaeger bombs after a certain Christmas do that I went to.
Oh, God.
Which Christmas do was this? Is it recent?
It wasn't the one where I worked with you. It was at the place I worked beforehand. So we used to have these Christmas do's in the place isn't open anymore. They shut about maybe half a year ago in Nottingham. They used to basically just rent the whole place out. Completely, no one else could go in there, and free drinks all night. So it's a good
work do that is. You can't beat that.
I'm chatting with people, having a laugh and drinking. I'm usually outside because at the time I was a smoker when I was drinking, so I was out in the smoking area talking to people who were drinking. And Becky was inside talking with people, but some of the people she was talking to had left, and then she lets me know that she wants to leave in about an hour. So by this point I'm like, oh, I've barely actually had anything to drink. I need to make sure I'm getting the company's money's worth. So I ended up going to the bar. And getting, I think at first it was the other IT guys and office support guys involved, and I basically made us all have double Jaeger bombs. So we all had them. I then went straight to the animators and got the animators to have double Jaeger bombs. I then went straight to environment art and got the environment art to have double Jaeger bombs. And this happened between loads of different groups of the studio until I went back and did the same thing again with certain people. And I think someone said I had easily around 15 to 18 double Jaeger bombs within the space of an hour.
Oh my God.
I'd have been like blacked out at that point.
Now the thing is, I remember pretty much everything in that venue. soon as we took one step out, that's it. Don't remember any of it. Woke up the next. I just woke up the next morning feeling horrible and coming downstairs to my sister down there with her 2 kids, looking at me just laughing. I go into the kitchen, open the fridge, and there's a Subway in the fridge, and I'm like, Becky, did you go Subway? And she's like, no, you bought that last night. I was like, Drunk Me's a legend, he's got preparations.
Yes!
But it's a win here.
But Becky was like taking the piss. I mean, she's got video footage of me, like just an absolute mess on the sofa. And she's just like, you need to go to bed. You know it's like 2:00. And I'm like, no, it's not. Echo, what's the time? It's 2 a.m. Echo, tell me the real time. And then she's just like, she goes to me, it's like,
Can you tell the time?
how many beers did you have? And I'm on the sofa like this. Too many. How many Jaeger bombs did you have? Too many.
I mean, Jaeger bombs come out when I'm out, and I'll drink my share, and I'm fucked. I'm gone as soon as Jaeger bombs out.
I've never been much of a drinker. Like for most, like I just have like in my teenage years, I didn't really drink, and I didn't really drink until I got with Danny, and even then, I mean, I will happily say I'm a fucking lightweight. I'm quite small.
You weigh about 8 stone, piss wet through. So
I'll have you know, just over 10 actually. I used to. Actually, to be fair, when I first got with Danny, I think I was actually 7 stone 10. But that was
Christ.
But bear in mind, I am only 5'5", so I'm not very tall. But like, I was a skinny cunt. I was a limp drip of piss. But like, I've put on a fair bit of weight since then. I've built a little bit, so it's fine. I'm at a good weight for my size now.
This boy now.
Anyway,
he's thick.
I'm harbouring a slight dad bod, and I'm okay with it. I'm going to try and get fit this year, but while we're in lockdown. But
It's fucked. We can't do that in lockdown. Right off 2020.
Yeah, basically. But so I didn't really used to drink much until I got with Danny, and then I started drinking a bit. And I get a bit drunk every now and then. Nothing very note, just a bit tipsy or a little bit drunk and whatever. And then the one night, have you guys ever watched on Channel 4 a show called Bonsai?
Bonsai?
It rings a bell.
I've heard
Bonsai. Now, Bonsai is a very, very strange game show. I can't even explain it. You'll have to look it up because
it's the Japanese one, isn't it?
It's kind of like Takeshi's Castle, but
it's a British.
It's a bit.
It's a British comedy gambling game show which spoofs Japanese game shows and general.
Yeah. It's very, very strange, and as Ryan just said, it's a comedy gambling show. And the one night, me and Danny decided to turn it into a drinking game.
Oh god!
And we just gotten back from Lanzarote, and we had some it was honey rum, and I'm trying to think what percentage it was. I think it was 40 to 50%, so quite strong for someone like me. Because again, I just don't drink. Like usually, I just either drink a little bit of something strong, or I would have had like a cider or two. And it doesn't take like I'll be honest, one cider on an empty stomach, a pint of cider. I won't be drunk or even tipsy, but I'll feel it. And 2, I will actually start to get a bit tipsy. That's how much of a lightweight I am. So
I kind of wish I was that much of a lightweight, because it's a much cheaper night when you're a lightweight.
The shitty thing is I can't drink anymore because the medication I'm on. This was before I was on that medication.
Yeah.
But we turned Bonsai into a fucking drinking game, and we decided that basically, because it was like a gambling thing where you just had you were right or you were wrong, and I can't remember how we did it. I think it was a case of we took a shot if we were wrong, and we were playing it to try and get it right. And gentlemen, I was very wrong that night. I don't know. I can't remember exactly how many shots of this stuff I had, but I think 10 to 12 shots of it, of like a decent sized shot glass, and I'm a fucking lightweight, so I was just drunk as
It was
fuck.
at this moment he knew he fucked up.
And Danny said, I just don't shut the fuck up when I'm drunk. I just talk and talk and talk and talk. Apparently, like I'm almost like not hyperactive, but like really short attention span and talk a lot. So it's like, oh, what's this? Oh, what's this? Oh, what's this?
Danny's
yeah,
just there,
that
like
was,
with the pillow ready, just no tears,
Like,
only dreams.
in all honesty, like I can kind of remember that night. Like I remember doing the shots. I don't really remember much. I don't remember what was going on Bonsai, and I don't remember that night. But that's the only time I've been really drunk, and I haven't been. I don't think I've even been really drunk since then. And
with the,
I can't remember the last time I was tipsy, to be honest.
With the drinking game stuff, you've reminded me of one that I did, funnily enough, by myself, because
Oh god,
I was drinking by myself because I was at that point of my life, pretty much, and me and a friend of mine had decided at one point we wanted to do a Gundam drinking game to a Gundam series. Gundam is that on my arm. It's a mecha anime, very, very popular, and the show that we was going to watch and drink to was Gundam 00. And basically the premise was, anytime anyone says Gundam, you have to drink.
Fuck.
well,
Absolutely fucked me.
So usually it's not too bad. You'd have like a few drinks throughout each episode, and then we added I think we added a few other rules in, but I just can't remember those ones. But I was watching, I think there were these 2 episodes where the main character Setsunov Seo has an accident, hurts himself, and then all of a sudden starts repeating Gundam. Gundam.
Shit.
And I think he says Gundam at least 8 times in a row at the end of this episode, and then the fucking recap of the next episode does it again.
I mean, I went through. I've been through those times where you drink, and like you're just on your own, and it's usually like it was in a rough time. It was in a very rough time. I mean, like I was being the crazy, with other crazy. It was all over the place, and there's just like me, like just fucking neck and backside is like a fucking wano, then drinking mead, just like oh yeah.
Oh mate.
But the worst I've ever felt is I went to one of my best friends from Comic-Con, Tammy. God damn it, Tammy! I'm calling you out here. She drink. To be honest, like I've got to a point now where I can just drink quite regularly. Like I'll have a couple of pints, like or a couple of cans of beer, and I'm fine. But I went and I tried to keep up with her brother, and her brother is in the Navy.
You never try and keep up with someone, ever. It doesn't matter how good of a drinker you think you are.
It was a good night out. It was a good night out because I'm like, do you know what? I'm really sound with her family. I think they're all really sound people. I've been down and visited a few times, and we're just good friends. But I went out with her brother not last Christmas, but the Christmas before, like New Year, Christmas time, because we went to hers for New Year. I got absolutely fucked the night with him, and there's videos of me lying in the bathroom. I puked up awful. I apologize now to the family. I'm so sorry. I was such a mess.
So you were praying to the porcelain gods, basically,
and then the 2 nights later, which was New Year's, I was like, I'm not going to drink. And I drank. And I got really bad. And I also became a bit of an emotional wreck, and I cried a lot. So, I mean, that's the messiest I can remember myself being drunk wise. Like, and I've been like, since I've started at my current workplace, like drinking and going out for drinks is it's quite a big thing, like because there's a pub just at the end of the street.
You can throw a stone. You can throw a stone from the entrance of your office and it will hit the pub. That's how close it is.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty good pub.
I really enjoy it. It's a good vibe because I can just go in, have a pint at the end, like a Friday night, you come out, you're like, fuck this. Have a pint and I can drive home, no qualms. And then, like, if you really want to, I can go in on the bus and not drive and we can all go out and get absolutely fucked. And
Or you can
that
do what I
happened.
used to do. Leave your car at the tram stop for the night and get your wife or girlfriend to pick you up from the tram stop so you can drink more.
I tried that, but because my car being my car, like, and what it is, we didn't want to leave it at the tram stop with, the boy racers driving about smoking weed and shit.
I left my Z4 at that tram stop multiple nights because I was too drunk to take it home.
If I ever get to that point, I will do that. I mean, like, well, it just feels like it's been so long since we've been out for a drink, and I just really want to go out for a pint with the lads from work now because of this fucking shit.
I've never ordered a pint from a pub in my life.
I'm surprised. I'm worried they'd just think you're using a fake ID.
I've had a pint in my life.
Are you sure you're of age, little boy?
They'll probably use every single test they can to make sure your ID's real.
Yeah. Hey, come on. I know I'm short, but I don't look like if I shaved, I look like a teenager.
It's like The Hobbit. It's like the Lord
really,
of the Rings.
I'd love for you one day to shave your beard, go proper like baby face, and then try and order a beer at a pub and just see how...
I'll just make my voice going, hello!
Hello!
Just
I get a pint, please?
Just to see the looks they give you.
Well, it's funny actually because I'm quite short. Obviously, because I'm on this college course, my work, and because I'm quite short, a lot of the kids think I'm maybe like 18, 19. It's like, yeah, I'm 26. They're like, what?
Everyone thinks I'm like. See, that's the thing that with me, everyone thinks I'm like really fucking old because I just look old. Everyone's like, yeah, you've got to be like 26, 27. I'm like, I'm 23.
That was one of the most awkward things when I worked at your place, and it was like I was finding out that everyone who was working around me was 4 to 5 years younger than me, and I was like, "Fucking hell!" I feel old. Man.
Babies. Mate, some of the kids we've got now, we've got some right kids, and like they're fucking great. I mean, we went out with one of them, and we're drinking, and he's like, we're playing beer pong, and I said, "Neck it," and he goes to neck this beer, and he goes like this, he goes. I'm not your neck a beer. It's like sticks his neck out. Like,
neck.
So then we're all there. We get the beers. We're like,
it could have been worse. He could have just gone. He could have looked at you very confused and then just gone.
Mate,
I want that to be necking a beer where you just stick your neck out and just sip it. It's like, oh mate, neck your beer.
But you need to have the finger. You need to have the little finger as well, though.
The thing is, though, he claimed he could like drink like 5 Jaeger bombs and not be affected, but he didn't know how to neck a pint of beer. I was like, get out of here.
Another thing that's funny as well with me because I talk to some of these kids at the college, and I'm like 10 years older than a lot of them, and it's like they're all just starting to drink and stuff, and they're at that point where they're just obsessed with drinking.
Yeah,
but they drink shit. They all drink shit like Stella and San Miguel.
God, I don't care, guys. I don't care that you drink beer and you smoke weed. Nobody cares.
Smoking weed's the biggest one where you're just like, nobody cares though, really. They're like, but it mellows you out so much. It's like, if you like depend on a substance to become something that you want to be,
maybe you should be looking, wrong. Yeah, maybe you should be looking more inwards than outwards.
Yeah. I mean, like I've tried weed once, and my friend was like, "Oh, you've really mellowed it out," and I'm like, I don't feel any different. I'm just the same as I always am. I'm not acting any different. And like, it really wasn't. I wasn't acting any different. It wasn't affecting me anyway. Like, people are always like, "Oh yeah, I felt really thin." I'm like, I didn't feel any different after smoking it. So I was just like, "What's the point of doing it again?" I
would never inject a weed. Never.
Which when you go to your dealer,
is that a weed?
I'll have one cocaine, please.
911 now.
Is that police? I'm calling the weed.
I know people, and I've known people who have done they do like hard drugs like every week or did, and I'm still like, how? Like what? And like even the people I know who've done that, they've even said like it was in a completely different time in my life. But I know people who still do it, and I'm like, I just don't get it. And everyone's like, oh, you should do it. It's cool. I'm like, why?
I totally understand, a lot of people go through that phase as a teenager where they try it. Like, I don't care that people try it. I don't give a shit at all. Just like, if you want to try it, cool. I've never smoked in my life. I'm not interested. I know what it does to your lungs.
Yeah.
I don't see why would you want to do that? Like, I'm already a fucking wreck and I don't do any drugs. But it's like, but the problem is like, when I was in college, when all my friends started smoking and smoking weed, they all just turned into bellends. I lost so many friends because all they wanted to do, like on their breaks, was just go like hide in some corner and smoke weed. It's like when you're the friend that doesn't smoke at all, it's like I don't really want to just sit in some corner, like just breathing in smoke whilst everyone else is just huddled in a corner just to smoke weed. It was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I lost loads of friends in college to that.
It was very different nowadays. The drug scene is, and it's probably something that I wouldn't mind broaching at some point because we
could do a full chat on this.
Yeah, because I have dabbled, not in the hard drugs, but in a lot of the lighter stuff through when I was in university and stuff.
Get the belt.
But I also have spoken to and have known people who have gone to the heaviest of drugs, including heroin. So I have heard and seen experiences about the older style of them that may be an interesting topic, because nowadays, even though it's a bit more open,
it's such a middle class thing to do.
Yeah. From the experience,
it really is.
Me and the boys are going to do some heroin.
Yeah. Well, from the experience I've had working security as well, because of how open it is nowadays, a lot of the stuff people getting is shit compared. So I definitely would like to talk about that because there's a lot to talk about in that. So I think that's definitely something we should put on the shelf for a future podcast. But
we'll come back and talk about that later.
But I think with that,
here's a subject I prepared earlier.
Yeah, but I think with that, we'll have to probably close off the podcast for the day. So I feel like we've had we've had a good little natter about certain subjects and crazies and schools and drugs and booze.
Anime.
And
we always come back round to anime.
We always
when did we talk about anime? Oh, we did. You spoke about Gundam. God damn it, Kyle.
Yeah. We always have a little dabble in anime. There's always a little dabble.
Sprinkle of degenerate.
If we ever manage to do a podcast without mentioning anime, I think someone needs to make note of it because I think that will be amazing.
If I realise we've done an entire podcast without anime, I'm just going to make sure that at the end of it we hear this.
Wow! Without fail, I'm now going to make sure I put an anime or a manga on the back here behind me on my bed. Without
We're going to ignore it.
I'm just going to constantly sit here like, what's this over here?
There's something behind it.
Well, we'd like to thank everyone who just came and joined us in the stream. If you've got any questions, subject matter, or any issues with any of the things we've spoken about today, the email you can send it to is contextneededpodcast@gmail.com. It's just scrolling across the bottom of the screen now. Well, from me, Kyle, I would like to say goodbye, and from you guys,
see you later, you bunch of shitlords.
That wasn't very nice. Goodbye, everyone. You matter. I care about you.
I would pretend I cared about you, but I don't really, because I'm an ass. That's it.
Anyway, we'll be back on Wednesday at 9 PM GMT with another podcast. We'll pick from the hat or shelf of many subjects we keep adding to after every podcast of what we want to talk to, and any questions we get, we will look at those. But in the meantime, thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.